and starting a new chapter. And then we have a page. As you see, you who have seen Fast Track before, we have taken away one step from the table of contents. So section is now not applicable anymore here. So we will have one less level to worry about. Now, to click on a page, I click on this in the table of content and everything gets editable straight away. In the middle, you will see a breadcrumb up here. You can see where you are. You have a toggle which shows desktop mode and mobile mode, so you can see approximately how things would look on a cell phone. In the middle, you will see your content appear live as you edit. To delete a page, you have a little paper bin here, and you can also duplicate a page. A page is not complete without a template, and templates are selected in the menu to the right. Here you have a selection of templates, and we have divided them up in 3 categories. You have present, which is more about presenting different types of material. You have exercises, where you will find multiple choice questions, sort order, and so forth, as you can see here in the view. This is exercises usually self-correcting. There's also right and wrong answers, and you can set them up just as you like. The last category is reflect, and that is templates developed to use more for reflection or social interaction between the participants. You have vote, you have consider, and you have 4 corners, you have forums, and so forth. And here you can also have reflection for the single user, as in, for example, notes. The user can take notes within the material if you put up that template, and then they can download that as a PDF at the end of the module. If you do think that this is not as many templates as I have had before, and where's all my templates from Fast Track? Well, you have the tab More Templates up here. If you click that, the black one, you will see diploma. You can see more in the presenter category, and if you scroll down, you can choose all the templates that you would like. You can add it to your preset templates, or you can use it straight away. Doesn't really matter. You can also naturally take away templates from your personal startup setting. To know a little bit more about the templates, you can click on the text, and you have a small text sample here. You can also remove it from my templates. Here we will add examples, so you can see sooner or later. We are adding examples continuously here. Now, I will start by creating just a little demo. So I will start with text and image, which is the most commonly used template that we have. I know that there has been some questions beforehand about sizes and images, so I thought I'd deal with them as we are presenting. Now I have chosen a template for my first page, and I see where I am in the table of content. To the right, in the right-hand menu, I can also enlarge this. As you see, it's draggable here, so you can actually expand this a little bit, so you have more. You can choose what focus you want to have. You can also collapse the table of contents, so you get more a more personalized screen as you edit. In the first tab of the page with text and image template, you have content. And here we have welcome to our course. There we go. And as you see here now in the middle, you can see your material adding as you edit. The text input field has been improved a bit. We have some more headings. We have some more text formatting, a few more fonts. You can choose sizes here, and you can also formatted text. So I read that someone asked about how to put colors on the text. We don't have so many colors, but we have a little selection here right now, and we'll see if we can add more as the need arises. But here are a few more colors for your font. You can also highlight text. You have a little superscript here, and you can also add links. You can make selected text to links, hot links. You can add images and files, and you can clear formatting.
May I add something there, Sara? Just we have a question
yes.
from one of our participants about a formula editor here in the text editor. And that will be added into this interface. So there will be an FX symbol here, so you can edit mathematical formulas as well. But it's not present right now, but in a few weeks it will be.
Oh, perfect. So that will take care of that need as well. Very nice. Now, if I want to add some text here, we will start this course with spell checking in front of a live audience. Here we go, and you can see that the text appears here. Now, if you're sitting on a connection that might be a little iffy, that you are not sure that it really saves everything, and you don't see the last dots or the last characters that you wrote in, you can always force save by clicking Control and S on your keyboard. So if I do that now, a little saving button will appear here, and it will say that it's saved. Now, we do save as soon as you stop editing. As soon as you have a little pause within typing here, we do save. The system saves all the time, but it might be good to have that little extra security. Now, I will upload a background image, and that will appear here. Let's see, we have nice demo pictures here. Now, let's take this eye fingerprint here, because it's quite a large image. As you see, it's 1280 by 848. And I will double click on that, and I will get a very large eye staring at me. Now, I want to change how this image is displayed, and I go to Properties tab up here, and we have a wide text field right now. And if I set a thin one, then the image will be displayed larger. We can also add theme specific, which now serves just like so. You can see the text here, and you can see that you have a white plate loaded onto the image. Now, unfortunately, these are the only ways to edit and make sure how you can adjust all your images. I have sent the image specifications through Torsten. I don't know if Torsten has had the time to send that forward to you all, but we will put this up within this editing mode as well. It's not here right now, but we will get that up so you can see. Now, this part that is this big is 620 by 440 pixels wide. The larger one is, let me see what it looks like this. You have 620 by 660. And the full size is 620 by 1100 pixels. So you can actually edit your images beforehand. There are so many different ways of formatting and editing photos that we have to take one step at a time here. All right, you can also add displayed read more buttons. So check out the Properties tab in every template, because that will help you a lot. You will see different settings here, definitely. You can also allow users to proceed without clicking. If you want to change the labels on buttons, then you have your options for that here. Navigation is also an interesting tab. Go here, let's check. Now, navigation properties and content looks a little different to all templates, but so it's well worth investigating these tabs. You can also see a lot of little blue bars that says Learn More. And you can click on that and you will get a little information text. In this case, it says navigation settings are applied to this page and all of its underlying subpages. So please investigate the information icons. And down here, you can see that you can set different settings for how the user will be allowed to navigate once they've come to this site, this page, sorry. You can hide the page name in the menu if you would like to. So the menu will now show this name, page 1, it's for currently. And if I click this off, it will be hidden in the menu. And this can be relevant for when you have a lot of pages within the same module. You can see podcast mode here, and I will leave that for now because we will take that a little later showing. You can switch templates if you would like by clicking the template that you have chosen here on the page, but do note that the new template will overwrite everything that you have previously done. So if you want to save the text, for example, please copy that into your computer's memory before you override with another template. And of course, there will be a warning question or a warning sign. You are about to overwrite the content. Do you really want to proceed? And then in this case, no, thank you, because we will resume editing and we will go to add a new page. Now, adding new pages, you do underneath here in the middle. You have a plus sign. You can add a page, and you do it like so. And here it's important not to be click stressed. You need to breathe for about maybe 2 breaths at least before the page shows up. You select a new template, multiple choice question perhaps, and we get the new content editing to the right here. And I remember there being a question about multiple choice questions, so we'll get to that soon as well. As you see, there's a little drop-down menu here underneath the page now, where the plus sign is, and you have a little drop-down here. Here, you can add chapters, you can add more pages, and you can also add sub-pages. Now, sub-pages is not visible in the menu for your students or for your users. And that a good example of when you might want to use this is when you create maybe a quiz or a little diagnostic test for your users, and you have one page visible in the menu that says, tests your knowledge here, and then you don't see anything else, but the user, when they click for the next arrow in the next step, and when they have done the first question, now they will get taken to the sub-pages. Adding a sub-page will make it look like this in the table of content to the left. And you also see that there's an indentation here, that the sub-page is a little indented to the page that it belongs to. So here you can see that there is a sub-page. I will remove this sub-page for now. Do I really want to delete it? Yes, I do. Thank you very much. Right, a question. What is the best way of good questions? There we go. And you can have your text. You can click on the correct answer. Go. And there might be several correct answers, and there might just be the one. And I am going through this because we had several questions about how to put in feedback and special feedback, and taking away the possibility of showing the correct answers after 2 incorrect answers from the user. So I will add alternatives, and for this demonstration to not pan out too long, I will just write numbers here, just to make sure that we can speed up. Now, I have a text here that says 1 and the answer is correct. So number 1 is correct. If I want a supporting text, I can write that here. I call this hints. Here is a hint. You can also put in extra information for this particular alternative. There we have a little hint. And as you see, it won't show up here on the live view, but it will show in the preview. I will show you shortly. If you want to put in specific feedback for every alternative, which might be good in a learning situation, you click Advanced Feedback. And then you have, if correct answer, you can put in a correct answer and maybe a bit of more expansive feedback. If incorrect answer, you click there and you have more possibilities just as under the correct answer. So here in the advanced feedback is the specific feedback for this specific alternative. I add some more alternatives and I will make sure that this answer is not correct. I only have one correct answer right now. I will go forth and I will do a few more quickly here. There we go. And so there. Now we have 4 alternatives. And as you see, this bar is a bit shorter, but here lies the hint, the extra information about this alternative. Now, if I don't want my students to be allowed to see the correct answers after 2 incorrect answering sessions, I go to Properties. And I see that I have alternatives placed in the random order, enable the user to try again after answering incorrectly, and here, show the correct answer. I disable that option, and now the user can try as many times as they have to get the correct answer. You also have, if you have many short alternatives, you can place the alternatives in 2 columns. It will look like this. And now I think my screen is playing up a little bit, but it will be 2 neat columns, I promise. There we go. And now to check my content, I will go into the preview mode. Preview is now situated at the top right-hand corner. You have preview here. You can preview in desktop mode and preview for a mobile view mode. Please note that the mobile view is responsive, so you have to narrow down your web browser for it to work. But we will check the desktop mode here. And the preview will open in a new tab. We have the standard theme, so the menu will be situated up here. You click on this little half moon, you get the menu button, you have your pages, and as we close this, we see the page that we just created and that we edited. You can also see here how the little hint will be displayed. That's a handy little tool. So if I now click on number 4 and I answer that's not correct, I want to retry it. And I click on number 2 and that is not correct. And we try number 3. That is not correct either. Oh well. Exclusion method. Yay! I can also repeat the question, repeat this page, and redo that. So I close this tab to go back to author. If I want to share this, for example, with Pad, perhaps you would like to help me edit this, I click share, and I have share with co-authors here. I can also copy a link, which will let you send the link to your users, or you can post this in an LMS or even on Facebook if you so wanted. So you can have a link directly, and the link goes straight to the player because we have noted that many people send most people who send away links are the ones that send the links to their users or post it in LMSs. If you want to, you can click here to get a direct link to this specific page, if you want the students to start there, for example. Click that again, and it will be unselected. You can, if I want to send this to Pad to help me edit this, I can send him the link to the editor, but I have to have added him as a co-author first. But then he gets a link straight that opens the editor straight away. Now just click on copy. The link is copied. There we go. And you also have possibilities to share here. And as I am a super administrator, I can also export things here. You might not have all the options that I have, but I am currently on my own personal login here, and I am a super administrator of your system. Right, so that's that. What we haven't shown yet is the fact that you can reuse material from places that you've already that you have access to, and that is by clicking the drop-down button beside the plus sign, and you can reuse material. Now you can reuse material from the open library and your own library. And here we get a fast viewing of the new library. I will open the new library in another page, in another tab as well in a minute. Here I can see my pages, the one that you have seen before that was connected to Fast Track. We have automatically make sure that all your material will be shown here. Now, if I have handling images in Fast Track here, if I want to add that to reuse this, I click on it, and then I get information about what this is. I can see, so I can move the resource, create copies, but in this case, I do want to reuse it. I select the part that I want to copy and reuse. So now we're talking about copying and not taking the same original here and just linking that in. I think I will have about, well, why not? Image sizes for different templates. How about that? I will copy that. And, oh, of course, when you demo, things doesn't really go well, and I don't want to waste time, but they will appear. Your copied pages will appear right here in the table of content, and it will be visible here. If you have reused material that you own yourself, then of course you have co-authoring rights. But if you choose something from the open library where other people have published, then you might not be able to edit within those materials, but it will be copied here. Right, so anything else? Yes, please note that we have the undo and redo buttons up in the right-hand corner. It's very easy to miss those, but we do have them. And the shortcut keys, Control-Z, works on PC keyboards. I'm not quite sure. I think it's Command-Z for Mac keyboards. I am an adamant PC user, so forgive me if you're not knowing all the shortcuts on the Mac computers. Right, shall we have a little look at some more templates? And especially the ones that might not have been accessible before, and perhaps you can we will have some use out of some of the new ones. We have a drag and drop where you can drag text items to a page where you can just select, you can make hotspots, and the text items will be draggable to the different hotspots. I know that there was a question about how you can that it would be nice to have this hotspot functionality in all the templates, but that's not available right now, unfortunately. You can create overviews. You can have images that you use as an overview image, where you have a graphic menu, for example. You can also look into the forums and the notes. That lets you create pages where let's have a little look at that, actually, because that might not be too bad for you guys. Right, take some time to add your notes. There we go. And here we have a text field where the user will be able to input their own notes. I can make it a little longer, perhaps, because there's only one input field in this one. You have several notes as well, which will give you more input fields here. And you can also maximize the number of characters in the content in the comment field. And you can also have the characters left. You can also add supporting text. And you have the properties bar here that allows the user to skip such an exercise. Perhaps they don't want to create their own notes. Now, these notes will be saved specifically for the user. But to get to them, to be able to use them in a later stage, to be able to download them, you have to put in a new page with the template. Let's see where we have it. Download saved answers. That's in correlation with this. So those two, you have to have a download page. Now we have one note page here, and we have a download page. Download your notes. And you can add some more information. You can also set headers inside the PDF that's downloaded and the name of the file. Let's have a look at the preview so we can see how this works. There we go. Take some time to add your notes. Here are my thoughts. And I send that in, and your answer is saved. Here you can add, perhaps I would recommend that you add it. Here you can download all your saved answers in another page later in the module. I click next, I get to that page, and you see that you download your notes here. You have a little speech bubble with one. And I can click that to check what I have written here. And then I download a PDF. And this is only accessible for the specific user. And the PDF looks like this. Now, since I didn't set any header for the PDF and so forth, it is very simple. But you can use this, and you can allow the users to download from forum comments. You do that in the properties. If you have a discussion forum, it might be of good use for the students to be allowed to download what they have entered within the forum, and maybe the comments on other posts that they have set there. So here you can see that is enabled straight away. You have get forum posts and the comments. And you can also enable the user to skip downloading the PDF. There are several more categories that you can have a look at. You can look at more about all the templates in Help Center. Up here in the top menu, the question mark here. And you have guides. And there we have author. And we have all the templates with examples. So here you go. You can open that in a new tab so you can check out some more examples of the different templates. Please feel rightly encouraged to browse through this to find out even more about the templates.
Sara, I think a suggestion there could be if you open the examples that are suggested there in the templates, because I think that is a good way for people to familiarize themselves with all the templates.
Very good suggestion. So I clicked on the audio with image template here, and I click to open this, and we will see an example of this. Now, you might not be able to hear this audio. You might have to try it out for yourself. But here is the example of the template. You can go back and you can check through all the templates. But here's a nifty hint. If you have opened one of the examples, you can click the menu. And you can see all the examples at the same time. So there you go. You have all the templates examples here. So that's accessible through Help Center. Right, how are we doing with all the questions, Per? Are we up to speed?
Yeah, I think so. I think you showed the most essential parts. I know for you that see these things at the first time, it might look a lot, a bit complicated. And for that, I think it would be good, Sara, if you go back and we'll just repeat from the beginning.
Absolutely.
And if you follow me, so to say, so if you go back to...
we'll go back to the start page.
Back
there we go.
Yes, and we had a menu on the upper left-hand side. And up here, if we stay there a while, you can see if you started already, you probably had Fast Track that you've been working with that is accessible through My Pages, where you created your content. Now you have Author as well, and we prefer you to use Author since it's a lot easier to get going with. And the material that you have created is completely compatible with Author, so you can open the material that you created already in Fast Track and move further on with Author, so that is quite okay. There might be some confusion if you try to use Fast Track and Author at the same time, because you have the library and you have library new below. And then it is like that, that the new library that is automatically connected to Author. So if you open anything from that library, it will open it in Author. If you open from the old library, it will open things in Fast Track if you have the rights to edit that, if it's your material. But if we go to Author then and see from there, Sara mentioned the guides, but otherwise we just start with creating a new module. And when you get to this interface, you have the table of contents on the left-hand side, and it's easy to move around things, so you can just drag and drop if you want to change the order of your pages or anything there. But right here in the middle, you have your page view where you see what you're working with. And on the right-hand side, you just choose a template. So you pick one there and you start editing and put in your material. And you will find out about all the different options in properties and navigation and so by a little trial and error or look in the help center. And when you want to add more pages and develop your course with further pages, you just click the plus sign here. So, and you will get the new page, and you see in the table of contents on the left-hand side that more pages are added. So you have a page 2 there as well. And we have, if we go back to the little plus sign under the screen where we added that, we have the possibility to add chapters, pages. This is the pages that we use here. Subpage, that is a lower level below a page. And the difference between a page and subpage is that the subpage will not be shown in the menu for the user. And then we have reuse material as well, the thing that Sara had a little problem with. So I think that is this last thing, 2 minutes or 1 minute shows what you need to remember from this show. Then you have all the properties and all that, and you will find out that on the way, I think, quite a lot. Maybe we should repeat that to have a co-author as well in share if you're working together with someone on your material. Have them up there on the right-hand corner to share and share with co-author. So you go up there and you add someone, and maybe I will be able to add your materials. You can add that up there. So now I will see that if I go to the new library, I will be able to see this resource, and I will have the same rights to this material as Sara does. So I can go in and edit it, and I can change it, and I can even delete it. So she shouldn't be there if she didn't trust me. So together with people that you trust. All right, great. Thanks for a good view over everything here, Sara. We had a few questions sent to us beforehand.
Yes.
I would like to briefly go through them and say there are some people still using freeform, and maybe we should show people where freeform is in the menu up there. You don't even, yeah, you have it in my pages, so maybe we should need to go there. And the old interface. And if we create something new, we get to choose between freeform and fast track that we have up there. So, and we don't have to open it now. Just see that that's a different tool. It's completely different from fast track and from author. In the future, we will change the name of this one also, so we will be totally able to confuse you. And now we'll call it presenter, because really what this tool is to do presentations and to do things when you stand in front of a class, IRL. So it is more of a lesson tool where you can put up interactivity, show videos and stuff like that in the classroom. This is a tool that we used for quite a few years. So there are some functionality in there that is not available in Fast Track or in Author that some people like. So there might be a reason to still use Freeform, and that is some interactivity. But there is also the hand-ins that I know some people like and that you want to put in your courses. The hand-ins in Freeform are in the version of so that they can be followed up in the learning zones. And the learning zones within Learnify is like a small learning management system. You can just show them in the menu up there, Sara, before people get a headache from all the flashing icons here.
Let's go there. Can we stop it? There we go. You can have learning.
Yeah, so you can create learning zones, and that's like a small LMS, learning management system. I think most of you use Moodle right now, and we don't think that you should change into learning zones. It is a tool that is in here, but I think your university would prefer that you use your preferred learning management system. But for the hand-ins in Freeform to work, you need to work with the learning zones here inside this. So if you want to have hand-ins in your courses, and what I mean by hand-in is that you put a task for your students and say, you should write this essay, you should do something more substantial, and you will send it in to us. Right now, it is like that. So the integration between the repository and different learning management systems is not handling this very well, the hand-in functionality. So we prefer that you do that in Moodle, for instance, if you are using Moodle. So you create a hand-in Moodle that is complementary to a link to the training that you have that you add in Moodle from Learnify then. And the integration between Moodle and Learnify is not up and running yet. People are starting to discuss this and to create the integration. It's a technology called LTI, so that is prepared. So it's not a big thing to integrate Moodle with Learnify. And therefore, you will actually build your curricula for the course in Moodle, and you will add Learnify resources in a sequential or a table of content, so to say, within Moodle. So stay low a bit so far with a hand-in functionality, and when we have the Moodle integration up and running, we will show you how to build that, and that will be really easy to do that. And it's good because then you will have all the functionality available there also. And there you will have, we have also had some question about checking, what do you call it in English, to make sure that material...
plagiarism.
Yeah, so that the students haven't copied their material online or something like that, to have a checkup like that. So you can use the Moodle checkup like that. We have a Swedish integration in Learnify, but for a Czech functionality like that, but that is not relevant. So it's better that you use the one that you have in Moodle for that so far. And if you want more instructions on freeform, there is a section in the Help Center here within Guides where you have freeform as well. So you can read up on that part more there. But I think for the majority of you, you will stay in author for 95% of your work or even more. So focus on author and try to use that, because we have a full team of professional course developers here, about 15 people creating courses all day, and they sit in author all the time. And it's the same way for most our partners now. That's the preferred tool to use. Was this we commented on the mathematical equation? Yes, we have the upload of photos and figures and so on. It might be a little bit hard to match that when you upload a picture or a photograph or something to get the height and the width correct and so on. And we will add some instructions directly in the interface so you can see the way it is done. And in the future, we will build in more automatic functionality and possibility to adjust your pictures any way you like it directly in the tool. But right now, you need to edit your picture in a separate program, some kind of graphical editor like Paint or something more advanced, depending on what type of operating system you're using.
I do have the exact measurements, so I will paste them into the chat so you can copy them.
Yeah.
There we go.
So you can have them directly there.
There we go. That's copied into the chat now. All right.
All right. Have we got any more questions from the chat that I haven't looked at now when I've been talking?
Well, let's have a quick look.
Yes, there was from Emilia, and then there was also, yes, look at the Emilia there, for example.
Let's see. There.
Okay. When you use the old model. No, you don't have to create a new module and import the old one. You can just open it. If you go to the new library.
Right, so I will follow your instructions here. New library, there we go.
Library, and if you go there, you will find your fast track resources in the new library. And if you open them there, I think you will open them in Author.
You will. You have edit up here.
Yeah.
And you have a play button.
Sara, I do not see the screen anymore. I just see. I don't know if it's just me.
I can still see it.
Yes, okay, then it's just me then.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we are present for everyone. I'm afraid I think you need to log on again. Click on the link if you lose it.
Or possibly refresh your web browser. Right, so we have the edit button up here, and that opens it up in Author.
Yeah.
And this is actually created within Fast Track, this module.
So you don't have to create a new one and import it. Just open it in Author, and you will be fine. Any more questions? Let's see how I can use the learning analytics. Susanna, Short has some questions about Work Package 2. Yeah. How we can make use of learning analytics. Yeah, actually in all the templates, we can track what the user is doing by sending information to a learning analytics module. And that is a possibility that we can hopefully implement here as well, together with you for this solution. That's something we've done with InnoEnergy and in other solutions. Yeah, the reuse functionality right now means copy to this. It will be also possibility to reuse a link to a material. We just need to be better at explaining that for the users here. You know, if Sara, for instance, has created one material and that she uses in her course, and I want to use the same material in my course, then I could either copy the material from Sara and then use it in my course. That's the way it is working right now in Author. And that is, of course, quite good, because then if I want to modify anything, I can do that on my side, if Sara allows me to do that. And if Sara modifies something on her side, it will not change my course, because I have a copy of the material. But we will make it possible to do it the other way around, so that I just have a link to the material, and if Sara is changing the material and updating it, I will automatically have it updated within my course. Of course, then I will not be able to edit it in my course, because it's Sara's material and I cannot change it for her, because that will be anarchy.
Oh, no, you don't.
When you copy material, it's fairly easy to understand and work with it. When you use linked material, it's a little bit more to keep track of. And so, but it should also be available to do it, work like that, of course.
I would just like to take 1 minute to show you the new library. I said I would. So we have, while Per checks out the chat, I will just give you a view of when you open the new library from the menu. So here, as you saw before, you have everything that has been collected in My Pages. Now, I don't have much in this environment, but I can create course module and get to author straight away. I can create a new presentation, which is then the tool that we call Freeform. And I can also create new folders. And I know that there has been some issues about material being hard to organize in the old My Pages. So I will show you. I create a new folder. And if I take this image, handling images in Fast Track, and I move that by dragging and dropping that into the new folder, then it will not be shown here. It will all just be accessible through the folder. So you can see that it will be easier to find and organize your material from now on in the new library. If I click something, I get the edit and the play button, which gives me the preview of the module, and then I can edit it straight in Author. But I also have I can also go for renaming it straight away. I can write the description. But here I can move the resources if I have a lot of templates and I don't trust my drag and drop skills. I can create a copy of this material straight away. So I can give Per a copy of my material instead of giving him my original. Or if I just want to copy a layout of a material, I can also move the resources to trash. And trash is a folder. You can always restore things from there. If you have things that have been shared with you, they will be visible under the folder shared with me. And you can get to the open library by clicking the table of contents in the left-hand side of the new library. So, yes, and you can also switch views here. You can switch the thumbnail view to detailed view, so you get a little better overview of the list, depending on what your preferences are. There we go.
Yes, I'm trying to answer a little bit in the chat here. While you were talking, we had some about the text editor, and we opened up the text editor quite a lot before. compared to what it was earlier, but we know there are more requirements there that people want to have, be able to add more functionality. Actually, the reason behind we are a little bit reluctant to be able to change formats for everything here is because we lose the overall maintenance functionality the more functionality we put up in the text editor. Because if you have settings on a module level for your whole course, for all the material that you created, if you set it on that level, the typeface, the fonts, the size of fonts, and so on, you can adjust that on the full course. And when we add a lot of functionality that you can change in each individual page, it will not be possible to change for the full course anymore. So we're going in that direction. It's possible to change more on the local level, on the page level. But when material are supposed to be reused in different universities and in different settings, it is good if we could have settings on a module level to change the logo, change colors, things like that, to adjust the material a little bit to fit better together with other material. But we're trying to take the best of both of the two worlds, of course, and include more edit possibilities there in the text editor, like tables and math equation is coming up. We'll have a look into tables and a few others. It is also the case of having too much options there makes it a little bit complicated for new users, but we're going in the direction of having more functionality because you really need it, of course.
All right, we are getting to the end of this session. Do we have any other questions? I think I will stop sharing the screen now and go back to our meeting. Do we have anything else in the chat?
I think, you can think about the last question there when I'll say that when you edit material and create material here, we test everything for Google Chrome. That's our preferred browser when we do all the testing. When for the users, for the students, so on using the material, all modern web browsers should be possible to use. It is possible that everything works in Firefox and in Safari and so on, and all the browsers are getting more and more like each other and automatically updated, so we're getting rid of all the old versions of browsers. But if you have problems when you create something, and it might be browser related, so a good idea could be to test it in Google Chrome. Browsers right now is a moving target. Google and Apple and all the other ones are changing things in the web browser almost every day. So their behavior might be a little bit random for us, and they don't always tell us what they do. We have to look in afterwards when something is broken. So that's why we're not testing all the web browser every day for everything. We try to stick with Chrome as much as possible, but most things should work in all the browsers, even on the editor side.
Right, we have the last question in the chat. When you want to go to the next page in the player, show how to add the click button. I just could not add it where I wanted. I mean, in the text page or in the image window. And I hope this will be a good answer. And that is, you can't add the click buttons for the next page or the previous page. They will be added automatically. And if you don't have more than one page in your module, then there will be no buttons for the next one, because then you cannot, you have nothing to go to. So I have done that myself several times, so I hope that is the cause of this.
All right, so we're 1 minute past, so we hope that you have got some information from us here, and glad that you joined. Thank you very much for that. The support at learnify.com, and there's also support in the help center at the bottom there that you can write in directly. So please make use of that if there is anything that you need, and we will have a webinar in a month or so again, and show you some deeper functionality and so on in the system. So, okay, thank you very much, and have a good day, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you.